finish our Christmas mousse before I did that workshop. So if you are just joining me, if you're brand new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. If you click the sprinkle button that starts with an S, hi Kristen, you will be entered to win your own blank mousse. So you can paint one with me. And you're like, well, Kara, you're gonna be done by the time I get mine. You're right, but you can go back and watch the videos whenever. And this sweet little guy or gal can stay up all the way through winter. So I've got just a few supplies on my table. I've got my paintbrushes. I've got some fun ribbon. So I went over to the studio today and I grabbed a whole bunch of fun ribbon because I wanted to make the mousse a girl instead of a boy. And so I got all these fun ribbons. And so before we finish her up tonight, we are gonna make a bow. Now, normally, like I said, I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But since I did not do that, I missed 2 lives this week. Normally I paint one live and then another live I give y'all a creative tip. We were in the process of going through how to make bows, and we did 2 fun bows over the last couple of weeks, which, oh, let me show you. This is the one we made yesterday. Thank you, Karen. Yesterday, last Thursday. We made a bigger version of this the week before with double the amount of tails. And this time we are gonna make a smaller, kind of funkier, easier bow. And I did remember my, oh, what are these called? Pipe cleaners today. I kept forgetting to grab them. So I did remember my pipe cleaners today. That makes a world of difference. So let's get started. If you are just joining, if it's your first time, this template is half off through the month of October. I had to remind myself what month we're in. And I'm gonna get some of my paint. Hey friend, I am feeling so much better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yes, I did not make my live on Tuesday because I was feeling really, really yucky. So thank y'all so much for everybody who commented and told me to get better. I greatly appreciate it. All right, so I'm grabbing some white paint because we're gonna do some white polka dots on her scarf. And if y'all look and see, my original had the scarf either green or red, but I changed it to turquoise, and that way it's not so Christmassy. It would be more all winter. All right, so I'm gonna grab, I've got my dark brown and my light brown. I did light brown on the antlers. I did dark brown across here, and then I mixed the 2, and I got my middle color for his like snout, and then for the ears, and then I did the darker for his nostrils. Okay, so that, if you have not done any yet, that is getting you caught up. The turquoise that I used is apple barrel, and it's called turquoise. The 2 browns that I used were Deco Art. One is burlap and one is burnt umber. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I want to do a little bit of shading around his snout. So I'm gonna mix those 2 colors, but I'm gonna make it a little bit darker this time. So I've got dark brown, and let me get some light brown. And friends, when I mix my colors, I actually use the back end of a paintbrush. So I take the back end and I just mix, mix, mix until I get it the color I want. Now I could add more of one color or the other. I think I might want to add a little bit more of the lighter. That's gonna be a little bit too dark. That's gonna be a little bit more like this color up here. So I want to add a little bit more of the lighter. And friends, if you're in my paid group, make sure that you hop on the Zoom call with us at 7 Eastern, 6 Central Time tonight. We are going to be learning to make a doormat, and we're going to use some of our hand lettering skills. You don't have to use your hand lettering skills. Thank you, Miss Mary. Oh, and Miss Ann is on tonight. Yay. So excited to see all of you. Okay, so I've got just this kind of warm chocolatey color, and I am gonna go ahead and grab some of this, and I'm just gonna go right around his snout color. And I might have to go a little bit darker. Let me grab this dark brown and put it in another cup. So I need to get some of that for right here. So I went a little bit too high with the lighter color. So I'm just gonna kind of blend this in, make that line. There we go. Okay. So I might have to go back over that, and that's okay. But I had taken his snout up a little bit too high. But in the meantime, I'm gonna grab, I'm kind of mixing these colors to create a new color here, because that was still a little bit light. There we go. All right, and so I've got just a little bit darker, and I'm gonna go around his snout with this little bit darker color. And I don't want it to be just a hard, crisp line. I just want it to be just slightly darker. So I can go back in and kind of blend with that lighter color. So essentially we're just working with a couple different colors here. I don't know if you can kind of see. Can y'all see how the outer area, and I'm just kind of blending it back, this lighter color. So it's a little bit darker around the outside, and then it gets lighter as it goes in. So I've got this warmer chocolatey color, and I'm just kind of going all the way around with that. And then while it's still wet, I'm coming in and I'm just kind of blending this lighter color back in. So go ahead and just do that. There again, while it's still wet, you want to blend the lighter back in. And I'm just going to go all the way around like that. Thank you, Miss Ann. Thank you, thank you. And I am feeling so much better. Thank you so much. I hope that you will be on our call at 7 tonight, or 6. I'm not sure what time zone you're in. All right, so I'm just going all the way around. I'm kind of filling this in since I did this on multiple days, and I mixed this middle color. I had to kind of guess on it, so I'm just putting a quick coat to blend it all the way to the middle. And I'll show y'all in just a second what that looks like. All right, let's see. Okay, y'all remember sometimes because of the glare, I see things differently than down below. But you can see how just kind of around the outside, it's just a little bit darker. So it just has a little bit more dimension. All right, now I'm gonna go back into this dark brown. I'm gonna put another quick coat on his nostrils. And I'm using an angled brush just because I can get a good crisp line that way as I'm turning those around. There we go. So if you have not gotten your template yet, it's half off through the end of the month. So make sure you grab your mousse, because this sweet girl or guy would look adorable all season long on your door. All right. Okay, so I've got his nostrils done. This is where we're at, okay? If you wanted to do some shading around his antlers, you can do that as well. Same technique. I would just do darker on the outside and fade to the lighter. All right, just adding a little bit more of this dark right here, because I had taken his nose up a little bit too high. Friends, that's what I love about paint, is like, you mess up, you just paint over it. Let it dry and paint over it. That's the key though. Let it dry and then paint over it. All right, so I'm putting another quick coat on here so I make sure it's all uniform. I love this chocolatey color. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I guess it's not night for some of you. Some of you are in the central time zone. Some of you are just getting off work. Some are maybe still at work. All right. So we will be using our Posca pens, and if you don't know what that is, I like to say they're like the Cadillac of paint markers. They make your life so much easier. So we will be using those. Now, before we move completely on, I am gonna add some little variation in color up here, just to give him a little tuss, I don't know what you would call that, of hair. Do I like lavender? Somewhat. Why, Miss Mary? So I'm just giving him a little bit of lighter colored hair up here. Her. Keep saying him, because right now it is still him. All right, so I just gave it a little bit of hair up there. And now we are going to start making our circles, our dots. So I've got my white paint, so I'm just gonna use my white paint. Now normally, if y'all watch me paint, I normally do my circles just like this, okay? So I just set my brush down on the board and I twist. If I can find the right brush, we will do that. But here's the thing, depending on, I need my polka dots to be pretty small. So if you can't find a brush that can go all the way around like that and keep your polka dots small, then you may have to do a different technique. I think this brush is gonna do it. But to test it out, before I touch my board, I'm gonna actually do it right here. Oh, yeah, that'll be good, on my table. Now friends, hopefully you have scrap paper or something next to you when you're painting. But if not, I highly recommend it. All right, so we're just gonna start our polka dots. So I just set my brush down and I just kind of swirl all the way around. Now, if you want it to look like the scarf is folded, which I do, I want it to look like the scarf is two separate pieces, because this this bottom part, the fabric would be different, go in a different direction than this. Oh, Mary, that's so sweet. I actually have some. I use it some. I use an oil at night. I'm gonna give a plug to, oh, thank you. I'm gonna give a plug to Young Living. When I went home at, I guess it was over summer, my mom got me hooked on Endoflex, which is a blend, and I started using it and it helps me sleep at night. All right, so I'm just doing my polka dots. Let me show y'all. Can you see? Isn't that cute? So we're just gonna go all the way across and then we'll come down and do polka dots here. But remember, because of the way the scarf is tied, you're gonna have some partial polka dots and some that are full polka dots. have my Lazy Susan under here, and it's moving my painting. So I'm having to keep my hand on it. Normally, it's good if it moves my painting some, but when I'm making polka dots, I should probably take it out. All right, friends, I'm gonna do an almost full polka dot right here. And then I'm actually gonna hold it up and show y'all so I can see if it needs another one. I think I need a tiny one right here. That's one of those situations where sometimes it's easier if I look at it from a different angle. So we're just gonna do a partial. Now I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna do some more polka dots. All right, so we've got all of our polka dots done. So her little scarf is all ready. And now we are gonna start working on some of the other details. Now I did add that tuft of hair, but it's gotten a little bit dark now that it's dry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna get a smaller brush and I'm gonna dip back into this lighter color, a little bit of the dark because I don't want it to get too light. And then I'm just kind of making not quite full circles, just so that it has a little bit of texture to it. I'm gonna hold that up and show you. Can y'all see that? How it has just a little bit of texture? Oh, I had never thought about dried lavender. That's a really good idea. Okay, so I'm gonna get working on her eyes. And I'm gonna use my black Posca pen for her eyes. I keep looking down here because I have my printed template down here. And I was just trying to make sure that I place my eyes and mouth and everything right. Because sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I don't know exactly where to go with that. All right, so I've got my Posca pen. I'm just gonna draw her eyes. And then we're gonna give her eyelashes. Just make sure when y'all do this that you're not putting your hands in wet paint. Now I'm gonna start tracing some of the details. We're gonna do all of these fun details with my Posca pen. And we're gonna make our bow. She's gonna be so cute. And be careful if y'all are like me. Hello, Miss Cindy. Be careful that you don't put your hand in wet paint. I just did that. It's not super fun. Spin that around. All right. Oh, Daddy's home. Oh. So I'm just tracing all the way around. Hello, Miss Myra. Yes, I love the mousse. The mousse is one of my favorites. And what's funny is I did the mousse last year, but I don't know what I did with it. I must have given it away. because I could not find it. So I'm going right along this edge. I'm just gonna go all the way around. Now, as far as his little hair goes, I'm just kind of roughly tracing around it. Let's put my hand in black paint. Can y'all see that? You'll see how tracing all that out just makes it pop. Y'all are really a lot faster than I am with tracing. Yes, grab the template before it goes off of the half off sale, which will be at the end of the month. And we have a new one coming for November. And we'll start it the following Tuesday. I can't remember if that'll be next week or the week after. I think it's the week after. It's so much harder for me to go live at night because my family's home. And I always think everybody can hear the TV and all the conversations and all right, so I've got that all traced out. Some of these are a little bit thicker than others, and that's okay. I do want to go ahead now and try to trace this, but I need to be real careful because I don't want to go over wet paint with my Posca pen. So I just need to make sure that it's all the way dry. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie, it feels really weird to have on glow-in-the-dark color street nails and be painting Christmas. It really feels weird. Anybody else feel like Christmas is not, it's not time yet? I know a lot of crafters. I know a lot of crafters have been doing Christmas for a while now, and I just couldn't do it yet. Just couldn't do it yet. I did this week. I drew a bunch of Christmas and winter templates, but man, I just was not ready to paint it yet. A deer similar to this one. Cindy, it's coming. It will be released the first week in November. It's gonna be super cute. Our virtual paint party is gonna do the girl version. She's so cute. And then, and I haven't shown them yet, so I don't wanna show it publicly yet until I let everybody see it in the group. I was gonna show everybody on Tuesday, and then I got sick. And so I may show it tonight during the lab workshop. But the templates, the reindeer will be released the first week in November. All right, so I'm gonna add some accents to this, and then we are gonna make our bow. So I'm just gonna kind of just randomly add some highlights. I don't think I'm gonna do it down there simply because I think it's gonna get mixed up with the polka dots. So I think I'm gonna stay up here. Now I'm kind of doing over to the left. I think that's, oh, you know what? I think I might do one right here. And then maybe on her face. All right. And then I'm gonna do a mouth right down here. All right. Isn't she so cute? Okay, so I feel like she still kind of looks like a boy, but we're gonna fix that right now with her bow, okay? So I'm gonna set her off to the side. Isn't that exciting, Beth? Girl, I wanted to do a reindeer, and my kids were totally laughing at me because I was drawing the reindeer, and I drew, like, I always draw the boy version and then I add the bow and stuff and make it a girl. And my daughter came and sat down and she's like, Mom. And I go, I know, there's something wrong with it. What is it? And so I redrew it, and then she was like, yeah, that's it. So it was really funny because, like, sometimes when I'm drawing, I'm like, there's just something weird. So I've got all this fun ribbon, and I want to really make this boy, even though I put eyelashes on her, I want her to really look like a girl. So I think I'm gonna go heavy on this pink. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make, this is a super simple bow, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and cut most of my ribbon at once. So I've got my scissors. Let me move my paint out of the way. And then I think I'm gonna use this ribbon. So I'm gonna just kind of line it all up here on top of each other. I've got this super fun. It's a white, and it has like a shimmer to it, and it's wired, so it's super cute, but it is clear, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of get all these about the same size. Just layer them right here. And friends, if you have a like a clip of some sort, you can kind of, as you're adding more and more ribbon, you can kind of clip them together. I think I'm gonna do another pink. So let's go ahead and cut the first layer. Let's see, I think that'll be good. I will cut this and then I'm gonna measure it for y'all. Say that, oh, there's my ruler. Okay, so this is, I've got a 10-inch ruler instead of a 12-inch. So 10, okay, 13 inches is what I did this ribbon. Now you don't have to do exactly 13 inches. This is one of those bows that you could use scraps. You can do different lengths if you want to. You can cut them all the same to start off with, and then you can kind of make them smaller. All right, I'm gonna do another, I think we're gonna do 6 layers. So we'll do 3 and 3. All right. And friends, if you don't have a clip, that's okay. You don't have to have a clip. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. And if you know for sure that this is the length that you want, I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of my tails at once. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of make a shortcut, and I'm going to put 3 together, and I'm gonna dovetail. Okay, so go from the inside to the outside, and then open it up. So the same thing, I'm gonna fold them. I'm gonna go from the inside to the outside. And then I've got all of those dovetailed. Okay, we're gonna flip it over and do the other side. Now, I may end up making these a little bit smaller, and that's totally fine, but this will just save you a step if you don't end up cutting them down. All right, so I'm gonna do this, flip it over, and cut. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my clip off, and I've got all of my ribbon cut. I'm gonna move all this out of the way. Now, everything that I used here was wired ribbon. Now I'm just gonna kind of angle it. I'm gonna do 3 this way, and then I'm gonna kind of flip these top 3. We're gonna go back the other way. Actually, I'm gonna go back. See, all right. So here we've got these 3 like this. I'm gonna do the same thing with these. And then we are going to layer them. Now, I did, when I layered them, I just kind of hodgepodged them together. Now we're gonna pick a spot, and we're just gonna kind of scrunch it with our fingers, like this. Can y'all see that? And then, since it's all wired ribbon, we can turn these all different directions. So we can put the different colors in the different spots. We can kind of rearrange them if we wanted. We could bring some that are from the back. We could come tuck some of those up closer to the front. So you can kind of rearrange this however you want. But in order to do that, before I start getting too crazy with it, I'm gonna grab a pipe cleaner. And I'm gonna twist this around. And friends, this is so much easier than wire. Just because it's thinner, but it also holds. So I'm just, as tight as I can, I'm just wrapping this around. Okay, now, if you want to keep this tail long, you can, because then you can attach it to your sign. So now I will just sit here and I will fluff and play with my bow. I think I want these white pieces to be shorter. I'm gonna cut that white piece down. That way that tail is a little bit smaller. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Okay, can y'all see that side? Can y'all see that side and how fun that is? I'm gonna do the same thing over here. It doesn't have to be in the same order. I can make, this one looks a little bit long, so I'm gonna make it just slightly shorter. I'm gonna cut these white ones down a little bit. And then I'll cut this one down. And then I think I'm I'm gonna pull, I think I'm gonna pull some of this pink up here. Pull one right there, and then one down here. All right, so by using the wired ribbon, you can make just a super fun, funky pinwheel bow. You can even finish this off. This would look really cute if you had a non-wired ribbon that you wanted to crisscross in the front. Let's see what that would look like. This one might be too bright. It might be too white, but we'll try it and see. I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail these. These are not exactly the same size, but I'm gonna go ahead and dovetail them. And we'll pinch them across there and we'll see if we like them, and if so, we'll just add them right there to our bow. Okay, let me get these tails lined up. Same thing. All right, so I'm gonna put the longer one in the back, crisscross it, and I'm gonna scrunch it. And I'm gonna see, what do y'all think? Yes or no? I don't know if I like that. I think I like it better without. Let's not do that one. All right, so this is the way I'm gonna leave it. And after I put my wire on my moose, I will hang her with this super fun bow. Now, if you hang it and you're like, oh, my bow needs to be a little bit smaller, that's totally okay, friends. All you have to do is cut your tails down, just like that. So just trim your tails and you can make that bow smaller. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to start off with your bow small and wish that you made it bigger, because you can't make it bigger, but you can make it smaller. All right, I think I need to cut this one down a little bit. Okay, so now I am ready to hang my moose girl with her fun bow. So I don't think anybody's gonna think she's a boy. I think everybody's gonna know that this moose is a girl. And I'm gonna just, so I don't lose my bow and it get detached from my moose for now, just gonna put that right around there. All right, friends, so here we go. This is our super fun girl moose. I will attach this to the wire when I put it on, so it won't be that low.